All right, folks. So we talked about it. I mentioned it, and finally we can go over this. I want to thank my man Jay and Jonathan, the man, um, with these new tools. All right, now we went over the grease gun, okay, yesterday or the day before, and we looked at their new brushed drill driver and impact driver. All right, and like I was saying, if you noticed or if you looked at that, it kind of has a different logo, almost like a different shade of orange as well, a little bit lighter. Um, Not that it's a big deal, but if you look at some of these tools that we're going to go over, they look very rigid S, okay? Um, or Hart, and it's going to be something to see when Hart comes out with some of these types of tools, if they do. I have no idea if they're going to come out with brad nailers and grease guns and, one-handed recips, but don't be surprised if they look very similar to the Heart look very similar to these new Ridgid. All right, some of the stuff's going to be brushed, some is going to be brushless. All right, here is the new grease gun 10,000 psi. That's very, very good. When you look at Milwaukee's 12 volt, you're looking at around a quarter of that. But you also have the Ryobi out there that's usually very, very cheap. But to be honest with you, the Milwaukee 12 volt gets the job done, and it's much more compact, well, than that Ryobi. And this looks very similar. All right, this is something that looks really awesome. I think this is going to be a big tool for them, okay? Because their last set of nailers, in my opinion, were horrible. Even though they looked exactly like Ridgid, I mean, the Ryobi, they did not perform like the Ryobi, in my opinion. But anyway, this is a brushless 18 gauge brad nailer. Love the size. You're seeing that smaller battery. That's probably going to come with this as a kit. We know about the new brushed Milwaukee 12 volt pin nailer. I did a video on that last week, but this is brushless. All right. Again, the price point is going to be really what, is going to, I think, separate this from some other options out there. All right. Don't be surprised. The thing with Ridgid guys is there's always hacks. We always got hacks. Now, is this Christmas? Is this nailer going to be part of the hack? Now, we had the Milwaukee hack, brad nailer hack this year, where you could have got it bare tool for $179. Okay. So don't be surprised if this is $199 bare tool. All right. And hopefully by Christmas time, there's a hack where we're going to get this down to around $125 or so. We're going to have to see. All right. But the brushless motor delivers 3,500 nails per charge. And that's with their regular 2 amp hour battery. Did the video yesterday on their new max output 2 amp hour batteries. Maybe you'll get a couple more nails with that one. All right, here is their brushless framing nailer. So long awaited. They've never had a framing nailer before. And this looks really designed, a newly designed tool. All right, this looks nothing like Milwaukee's. It looks nothing like, I don't know. I don't think Ryobi had a framing nailer. They never did. I think they had a 15 gauge finish nailer. So Ryobi never had a framing nailer before. But if you look at it, you got that nice slim handle. Looks very, very nice. And it looks like you have the 4 amp hour max output with this tool. All right. What can I say? I love my DeWalt. Now, again, my DeWalt is probably 6 years old now. Built many a shed, many other projects, picnic tables, and other types of tables. It's always worked great, in my opinion, but I'm sure The technology, right? If you have the DeWalt, the biggest thing with their nailers is there is a ramp up. All right. Not that it's a big deal, but I would be impressed to see. Now, again, the price point on this, if this comes in at $299 bare tool, I don't think it is. I think it's going to be more than that. I'm going to probably say what Milwaukee's is what, 449 or 429. All right. Now, obviously, I think it's part of the promotion, right? Where you can get it 150 off of it. You always have to wait and see what the price is going to be on these tools with promotions, with hacks now. The hacks are huge, guys. Let's be honest. It's kind of changed the whole tool buying experience. Not only, and the promos, of course. Because if this is, $349 bare tool, right? But you can get the Milwaukee for $300 bare tool. You know what I'm saying? Ridgid always has to be, under, I would say 25% or more cheaper for me to even think about it. Now, I'm not saying some Ridgid tools are better than Milwaukee, all right? But when you got the battery packs that are just night and day, now again, Ridgid are improving them, all right? But, common sense kind of takes over to a degree. 750 nails per charge. That's probably with a 4. I'm going to move along here because it's taking a lot longer than I thought. Another brushless impact driver will be coming out. Okay. You got, looks like a new hammer drill. I'd love to know what the specs are on that because they did have the strongest hammer drill on the market, right? The Milwaukee had 1200, and then this new version came out a little bit after, and it had 1250, and already they got another brand new one. The impact driver, you kind of lost. So what I've noticed here is that, we know that there's some kind of internal problems going on between Ridgid and TTI. But if you look, you haven't seen that tri-mode light on a lot of this new Ridgid stuff. It looks like Milwaukee took the tri-mode light that everyone really liked about these Ridgid tools. Whether it's the impact driver, right, the impact wrench, and they kind of put them on these new Gen 2 impact wrenches, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see a brand new impact driver, a Gen 3, definitely a 12 volt, but the new subcompact, you haven't seen any tri-mode lights. Now, I don't think the stubby, I can't think off the top of my head if the stubby does, but I know the impact driver doesn't. But you got the multi-tool, all right, and you have looks like a new recip. I don't think that is, obviously, yep, it says brushless, so this is not the Octane, and it looks like they are keeping their orbital action. All right, so Ridgid being still, a great option if you want that orbital action. Remember, the new Milwaukee Gen 2 recip does not have orbital action. And you got a brushless multi-tool, finally, for the Ridgid people. All right, $99 for coming spring of 2021. You're going to have a max output 2 amp hour battery. So we got some pricing here. All right, $119 for the 4. Now, again, you could have got 2 4s for $89 during the holidays. And their regular 4s were not really that big. They were kind of just a little bit, another row. 2 rows, 18650s, but they were kind of longer than higher, in my opinion. It looks like they're moving up here. Again, guys, there's no information. Maybe some of you guys know, but remember, the only battery that Ridgid makes with 21,700 cells is the 3 amp hour Octane Battery. Now, you heard me say it probably a month ago. The Octane batteries are, I don't know if it's official that they are discontinued, but they're slowly going to be working them out of production. Um, Not sure why. I don't know if it's part of the TTI issue. Um, there's been a lot of issues. I've had two of the Octane batteries, and they're both the 3 amp hour go bad on me. I know there's been issues with the Bluetooth not connecting and stuff like that. It's really been a disaster. But you know, to have the three with the 21700 was big because it was really a nice compact battery for the Ridgid people, and you got that extra power for those Octane tools. Um, I don't know if these have 21700s or higher 18650s. It looks like, in my opinion, I've never seen a 2 amp hour with 21700s. This might be the first. I don't know, but it looks like the 4, the 6, and the 8. Um, I don't know, guys. It's weird because really the 6 and the 8 should almost look exactly the same because you would have 2 rows of 21700s. It looks like in this picture, but again, this picture could just be making the 6 look smaller for the advertisement here. I'm not really sure because I'll be honest with you, the 4 looks bigger than the 6, so not really sure what's going on here. But these are coming in the fall, the 6 and the 8. All right, but we're going to see the 2 and the 4 very soon, and I'm sure someone who is going to comment. So if you really want to know the answer, look through the comments. I'm sure someone will have more information. If these are 21700 batteries or 18650 higher capacity, that 8 looks 21700 and the 4 does, but this is whatever. All right, so we got some new stuff here, guys. Very, it looks like, if we look inside here, all right, you have a nice 6-bay charger finally from Ridgid. Took long enough. It looks like you got a 2-bay charger, a dual charger coming out as well. Looks like you got a new radio in the back. You got a new light. Okay. Looks like you're gonna have a framing nailer that we just talked about, a finish nailer, and a brad nailer. So you're gonna be rocking. All right. Looks like it's a new mid torque down here. Finally, again, no tri-mode lighting on this one, unless this is a 3/8, but that doesn't look like a 3/8 anvil to me. It just looks like a smaller impact wrench. So probably the Gen 2 brushless impact wrench. We'll see, but again, no tri-mode lighting. Looks like Milwaukee took that from the Ridgid guys. Looks like you got a new circular saw. I don't know it looks like you have another one-handed recip and a right angle drill. People have asked me about the Octane stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Especially with the new circular, the new recip, a new hammer drill, and a new impact that were all Octane. I mean, that stuff just came out, guys. So again, don't be surprised if certain stuff, and I don't think it's going to happen overnight because there's just so much stuff. I don't see a brand new jigsaw here, right? We know about the Octane jigsaw, the Octane router, handheld router. So I think it's going to be something that's slowly going to be, transformed from Octane to just, I don't know, Home Depot again, it really decides what goes on with Ridgid. And I think their plan was to maybe, because remember, Ryobi and Ridgid are both Home Depot geared brands. Maybe have the Ryobi as the homeowner and have Ridgid more as a prosumer brand. And I guess it didn't really work out, or maybe Milwaukee got pissed, or DeWalt got upset. Who knows? Um, but it is what it is, folks. But you got a lot of new stuff coming out for the Ridgid folk. Be good. God bless. Peace.